Hello and welcome to Rules and Rulings, helping you to be judge, jury, but hopefully not executioner of your 5th edition D&D games. Today on the docket we're looking at order of operations and potentially ambiguous words. It's Hasted Bladesinger. The Bladesinger is a martial archetype for the wizard class that is defined by swift movements and gracefully weaving movement and magic together. Their signature blade song ability makes them faster and harder to hit, so it's only natural a character like this might be drawn to the iconic Haste spell to double down on this theme.
Haste grants its target a number of benefits. It increases speed, boosts AC, and gives advantage on dexterity saves. It grants an additional action on each turn that can be used to dash, disengage, hide, or use an object. This action can also be used to take the attack action, with a limitation to one weapon attack. Blade-singing wizards gain access to a unique version of the extra attack feature. In addition to the usual increase to the number of attacks that can be made, Bladesingers can replace one of their attacks with a cantrip.
D&D is written in such a way that specific beats general, but that doesn't necessarily help us here because it's easy to argue for either Haste or the Bladesinger's version of extra attack being more specific. As they're both replacement effects, it depends on which order you apply them in. Extra attack and Haste predate the Bladesinger arcane tradition, so it might be reasonable to assume that the one weapon attack only portion of Haste is only intended to discount the extra attack feature. However, this wording also implies that shoves, grapples, and other special attacks are not an option with the hasted action. That seems a little silly from a narrative point of view, though. If you've been made fast enough to swing a warhammer again, you should be fast enough to do anything else you could do with the attack action.
In addition to the weapon attack only portion of Haste, you could also look to the wording of the blade-singing extra attack, which says, in place of one of those attacks, which could be taken to mean that the cantrip replacement is only available when extra attack increases the number of attacks, which doesn't apply in Haste's attack.
It's easy enough to justify narratively, but how does it stack up mechanically? Being able to replace the attack in Haste with a cantrip allows for two different tactics to be used by the Bladesinger. It lets them cast a spell and a cantrip in the same turn. Alternatively, it lets them make a single weapon attack and cast two cantrips, both options leaving the bonus action free for other uses. Now this is definitely a judgment call. As a baseline, cantrips are more powerful than individual weapon attacks because of their scaling. However, when you start factoring in magical weapons like flame tongues, this assessment can skew the other way. And then the blade cantrips further complicate things by adding the two different effects together. I think the balance between the options is close enough that you could safely rule it whichever way you felt like. So there you have it. Definitely some arguable wording in there, with intention and balance being up in the air as well. What do you think? Does an extra cantrip break the Bladesinger wide open? Is Haste tame enough that this extra boost is fine? Let me know how you'd rule it in the comments, and I'll see you next time.